we're leaning right into, as OU Mike pointed out and a few others have, it's Hawk time.
Yes.
And I want to say this about Hawk, and I want y'all to hear me well when I say this. Give me a second, though. We're going to pay a bill. I do want to talk about Hawkins. You think you know ball? If you do, put your knowledge to the test. Check out Sleeper, one of the best daily fantasy football apps out there in the industry. They've got some of the best promos as well as some of the best options in daily fantasy. What you do is 2 or more players, pick more or less on their statistics, touchdowns, receiving yards, anytime touchdowns, and then you can take advantage of one of their promos where they'll give you like half a yard on a passing on a quarterback that you know is going to play in the game. So check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR and you will get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5. Shout out to our partners at Sleeper. Definitely go. You want to support us, support our sponsors. Coop. Hawkins is now coming in. And I wanted to say this specifically because I want folks to kind of just hear me out. It's like not a lecture or anything, but I want y'all to hear me out. Don't take how last season ended and even how this one began as your measuring stick of what you will get from Michael Hawkins. I say that because there's 2 factors that we have to remember in this. One, the offensive situation was not very good for anybody last year. He was able to overcome in the Auburn game, which was great because it was kind of him going out there, spark plug type situation. But as things settled and you start dealing with more injuries, it didn't go the way we wanted it, right? Navy, there was a lot of things in that game we could break down. But I felt like the Temple game was a lot more him being cold, him just being tossed out there, while at the same time, him still learning the playbook. We are only 4 weeks in. The only people that walked in this bad boy was Arbuckle and Mateer knowing the book. Kuzieski is, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him we should give him a little grace, give him a little grace in this. But I think with Arbuckle's tutelage and building up his confidence, I think Michael Hawkins, I know Michael Hawkins is going to go off against Kent State. There's no reason why he shouldn't, right? That's the game he better go off on. If we have to ride with multiple games, we're definitely going to lean twice as hard on our defense this year while hopefully getting him out there feeling comfortable with slinging it. Because we know he can. We've seen him throw it. We've seen him sling it. We've seen him move. And the best part, Coop, and I'll get off my soapbox, is this pass protection is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good.
Yeah.
It's very good. And listening to Gabe over there at the Oklahoma Breakdown talk about how great Jake Michael is in pass protection, he's like, dude, he's ridiculously good. And so, like, his advice to the guards is go help the tackles, help each other interior.
Yeah.
Michael can handle himself. Just make sure you don't let free guys go. I've got mixed feelings like a lot of you, while at the same time, I do believe that Hawkins will provide us what we're hoping for, especially in Kent State. I think that'll be that'll make you. I think Kent State's going to make y'all feel better. Let's just put it that way. What do you think about the Hawkins piece?
Well, Jay, my nifty notepad number 11. Let's say this. Starting off, Hawkins never got a ramp-up game last year.
No, he didn't.
It was, hey, dude's not making it out here. Get out there. We got no offensive line, capabilities at all. get out there and let's see what you can do against Tennessee. Dude's 18 years old. He gets a week to go to Auburn. Auburn still was a pretty good defense last year.
They were.
But here's the starting lineup. Tarquin at left tackle, Jacob Sexton at left guard, Branson Hickman, Fabici, and Jake Taylor. And then his battery here on the it was him and Javonte Barnes were the only two people that had a rushing stat in that game. His receivers were J.J. Hester, doing nothing at Kentucky, Bauer Sharp, doing nothing at LSU. Brandon Thompson had been looking good. I mean, he had like 3 catches for 18 yards or something like that this week. And then Jaquez Petaway also doing nothing at Houston. So I will say this is, first and foremost, this week is about getting healthy. You got to get Michael, you got to get Fasusi, you got to get Fabici. All 3 of these guys, they got to get some good rest. You're getting a couple of the offensive linemen, closer to healthy on the backup status of things. But going against Kent State, one of the worst teams in the country, that's going to be a game that if those starters can play in 10 days, sure, go for it. Get in, let's do some work in the first, second quarter, and let's get them out and let's get some of the backups in. Receivers, though, Jay. Deion Burks, Isaiah Satania, Countess Lewis, Jaron Kanik, and welcome to the SEC, Javonnie Gibson. And if you guys are, you've seen it in there. I saw somebody put in something. Javonnie is practicing now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
We saw him going through the drills and stuff during the game for Auburn. So I think that Hawkins gets a full week of prep without a game this week. He gets a full week before Kent State. And then here's the big thing that is very, 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 very crucial, Jay. Texas at minimum, but Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, whatever it is, those coaching staffs have to prepare for John Mateer and no relevant film of Michael Hawkins. You don't get to see what Hawkins has been learning for the past 9 months and change. You Something don't get to see in Kent State. You're going to be running vanilla, so you're not going to see that either. This line with all of its downfalls on the rushing side of things, they have been really phenomenal at blocking when it comes to pass protection. And so you're going to put him in a completely new and amazing opportunity against Kent State. And then, like I said, we will not know about John Mateer playing until probably 2:30 on October the 11th. That's probably when we're going to know for sure. Because I'm promising you this, the rumors are going to be phenomenal. The stuff going out and being put out by different people is going to be amazing. And Texas is going to have no idea who runs out until someone runs out. Yeah. But I think Hawkins has now had 9+ months of Ben Arbuckle, Kuzieski. He's been able to watch these things. He's got an offensive line. He's got weapons around him. And last point of my soapbox is now you can take DeMarco Murray. You can have Bill Bedenbaugh. You can have the entire offensive coaching staff. They can go all to the guys like Jaden Ott and say, all right, guys, we got a little bit of a reset. It's time to double down. Everything is new. What are you going to do? Yeah.
That's going to be the key thing we're gonna need to double down. We're going to need to grind this out. We're going to need to it's going to be a challenge. And I think all these players are up for that. If anything, as we talked about numerous times, we've beaten this dead horse on numerous occasions. We got to get our run game going. That's the one thing we got to get established. We get our run game established, I think we'll see overall success. And I know that we'll get to that point. Because I think to me, it feels more scheme than anything. And Arbuckle's done a fantastic job of just developing quarterbacks. The proof is in the pudding.
That's the piece that I didn't even touch on.
Right.
Is the absolute just joke of an offensive coordinating staff last year versus Arbuckle.
Buckle knows what he's doing when it comes to that. So now we talk about that. It's going to be we're going to lean heavily in on, like I said, Michael Hawkins. The run game, though, is the one thing I'm thinking we're going to have to do. And I want to talk about that real quick. And then we're going to talk about these injury updates. We'll talk about Javonnie as well as Eli, because I think that they both deserve, some conversation. But so Hawkins will be playing. You'll have a week to get everybody else healthy. I'm expecting Fasusi to be ready. But you probably don't play him against Kent State. You let Logan Howland get his reps. Depending on Michael, heck, you may actually let Owen get some reps, but you're probably going to play Michael just to make sure you can get the big lead and then bring in young players. And then anybody else that's dealing with ailments, you'll probably sit them most of the game. That way they can, like I said, start feeling better. But we got to get that run game going. And so that's where this conversation comes in, as everybody's mentioning in the comments. Literally, this question comes out every week. What's up with Jay Knott? None of us know really what's up with Jay Knott. There's rumors flying from him still being injured to him not adjusting. You saw Mateer's comments of just trying to get him going. BV said the same thing. You're going to keep hearing that nonstop. To me, shout out to our guy Brig. Put his butt on the field. I want Jay Knott. Get him on the field in Kent State. You make it happen, or we can both move on. Because then, if Kent State's a game where he just can't get it going, it's just not going to work. And it happens. Duds happen in life. You're not going to be perfect in your picks of players ever, recruiting, anything. We just need to go and make sure that we push. We need to get going. I don't think Torrey needs to get going too much more, but you'll probably play him a little bit. But I think and any other backs that are healthy needs to get going in that game.
There's so much that goes into that. There's a little bit of DeMarco. Like, is it just him? Is it how he coaches? There's been the minor injuries, the hamstring with X-Rob, Tatum's wrist. All these guys are now practicing. If you're worried about your draft stock, Mr. Ott, sitting out a whole second year with a team that is trying to go win a conference, trying to get in the playoffs, like, that ain't going to help it. And a healthy shoulder in March, April ain't going to – you're sliding. And especially with the dude calling the player personnel stuff, people are going to listen to Nagy, and he's going to be honest. He's that he vouched for him. So I'm with you. It's time to put up or shut up. You get his butt out there, and if he can't go and shake and bake with the Kent State against Kent State, and if you can't go and give me a good solid week of practice, then it's Tatum's ready. X-Rob's going to be ready now. Those guys are going to be out there. You got Blaylock, you got Barnes. If we don't see it this week, it's not. But Jay, just the running game in general, I think that the escapability of and the backup quarterback factor for the offense and the offensive line especially, because we know the wide receiver's been blocking their asses off. They've been doing a phenomenal job. Every single time you see a good run, you see a great block by a wide receiver. So I'm pretty stoked about that. We called it out last year with guys like Reagan's out there, 160 pounds, soaking wet, with 5-pound weights on his ankles, like trying to block a defensive back. It just wasn't spectacular. It wasn't good. It wasn't even like it's passable. It was just bad. But you're seeing that. So this offensive line, I think, will rise to the challenge of, hey, guys, now we need to make this a focus. This needs to be something. What are the running game? What's the running, what are the running calls? Is it an inside zone? Is it outside zone, mid zone, gap scheme? What are we looking at? What do you guys feel comfortable with? Finding out, 5 or 6 things that Jay Knott wants to do, Torrey Blaylock wants to do. That's where you go do this, because Kent State's, God bless their hearts. Kent State is is going to be like a light day at practice. We know what this defensive line is, right? And so if you can't go out there and do those things against Kent State, then yeah, there's issues going forward. Now, do I think that we're going to go out and run for 350 against Kent State? I'm guessing no. But I do think that having some intention and getting out there and with some goals in mind, each one of the running backs averaging at least 4.5 or more per carry, that's what your goal is. You want to see guys not missing, just not completely missing blocks.
Right.
And so, but at the same time, like, we want Hawkins to really probably get 20 or so passes in at least. And then because of the nature of the beast, we want to see Whit Neubauer in the second half. So you're going to need this, this tune-up. But don't get it twisted, Jay. This week, next week, and Texas week is all about prepping for Texas. You're going to be running against K-State as if you're trying to block Texas. Like that's your goal. Now, the athletes are completely different because Texas has a legitimate defense. You're going to want to avoid mistakes because I think that game is going to be which team can do the fewest amount of mistakes, which defense can set offense up in, I guess positive territory, give you the best options. But You're right. It's you want to see the offense really play with some intention and, take people's souls on offense. Like, that's what you want to do. You want to see some what you're seeing on defense happen on offense.
Right, and I think that Michael Hawkins can give us a lot of that. Like, I
got no doubt.
I got no doubt that Hawkins can get it, and I think my confidence in Hawkins leans heavily also into the fact that Ben Arbuckle is going to be the one leading him. So,
yeah.